Joining us now is Charles Fitzroy, CEO at Bradda Head Lithium. Great to see you again.
You too, Mark.
So we've talked before a little while ago, and it's Arizona, Nevada. It's 3 types of lithium. You're drilling. You've got things on the go. You want to fast track to production. So update us on the story if you could.
Yeah, well, we've had a busy start to the year. We finished off our first drill program at San Domingo not too long ago, and we're going to have the last 20% of those assays coming through very shortly. And we've had 80% through so far. Highlights: best hole, 32 meters at 1.6% Li2O. So really promising results so far. And what we're doing now is we're building upon that. We've done a soil sampling program over the whole claim block. We're taking that data, the drill data, and some geophysical data we've done a couple of years ago, and also structural mapping, what we're doing now. And all of that is feeding into the next drill program, which we're going to start as soon as we can later this year, which will be a follow-up program to this first 7,000 meter program.
And so you bought some claims in and around San Domingo. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there was 3 inline claims which sit in the middle of our central claim block. And we've got a 9-kilometer mineralized trend from the southwest of the central block up to the northeast, which hits that 32 meter interception, 1.6% I mentioned. These 3 inline claims sit in the middle of that, so it was really important for us to do that from a strategic and operational point of view. So it really de-risks any development in that central bit around some of our really high target areas like Jumbo. We've had some really good intersections, Lower Jumbo and Sunrise, which is in that central portion. These are all historic lithium mines back in the 40s and 50s last century. These projects were mined for spodumene. I think on average it was about 2.75% Li2O, mined on a small scale, but old historic mines, which again is another great thing about San Domingo because it is not a greenfield site. These are existing mines there which were mined last century.
Now, Charles, the lithium space is still fairly new. It's growing. There are lots of players out there, lots of stories to tell. How would you say Bradda Head is different, and what should investors know?
Yeah, well, I agree. There's a lot of developing lithium stories, and the market will need all these stories because there's a huge demand coming and the supply is just not there. What's different with Bradda is that we've got brines, pegmatites, and clay assets. All these assets in Arizona and Nevada. That's what really sets us apart, and we are really pushing forward with our clay project basin and our San Domingo pegmatite district, which are all centrally located around Wickenburg, which is just an hour up the road from Phoenix. And that's where we're really focusing on this year, these 2 projects. Our basin project, we started a new drill program just recently, and we'll get results coming through from that pretty shortly, which we expect will lead to a resource expansion because we're pushing it above the creek here. This is the first set of results, first drill program which is outside of the Basin East area. This is our Basin East extension area, which sits next to Basin East. And this is on a 2.5 square kilometer area. To put that in context, we've got a resource of 370,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent, which covers a 1.4 square kilometer area. So we reckon there's going to be significant resource expansion from this next program, and we're really looking forward to getting that out there. So we've got final results from San Domingo coming, basin drilling, and then follow-up drill program at San Domingo all this year. So a lot happening.
All right, very good. Lastly here, we're at a conference hosted by Benchmark Mineral Intelligence. You're used to pitches. We've asked some of our guests for a 30-second pitch. Wrap up everything you just said into 30 seconds. 40 seconds.
What is that? So Bradda Head, AIM listed, OTCQB listed, TSXV listed, well funded, really strong management, very supportive board and directors who've got experience in this. Ian Stalker's our chairman, Jim Mellon is on the board. These guys have got great experience in developing small projects and returning value to shareholders. We're in Arizona, Nevada, pegmatites, clays and brines. Huge upside. We're near the North Americans developing battery supply chain, and we are in the right time, right place for the projects and where we're located. And that's why we're very excited about Bradda, and a huge amount to come from this year.
Great stuff. This is the last question. Your stock spiked recently, sort of mid-April. And explain why that happened.
Well, we bought those 3 inline claims, but also in sort of support for our stock, Jim Mellon also purchased another 8 million shares, which I think gave the market some real confidence that if Jim, who is such a large shareholder and so supportive, is buying shares, then obviously there's something which everyone else is missing, because our shares went up to 17p last year, and now they're hovering around 6p. So we've had a real drop off in share price, which is largely lithium price related. But the lithium price, whilst it has dropped off a high, is still a high price. Most lithium projects, apart from a few micro ones in China, are making a lot of money right now. So lithium prices are bottom now, and we see a steady uptick in lithium prices going forward. And that's fantastic for us, and hopefully the market will understand that too, because that sort of sets us apart. We have the clays, brines and pegmatites, and we're not really getting the value for the pegmatite asset right now. And I think once the market understands what we have and we get our results out, it's like a second drilling program, hopefully everyone will see what we have, because there are very few pegmatite projects in the US. We're located in the US, near developing supply chain, near, for example, I know Tesla are setting up a spodumene conversion facility in Texas. There's going to be a need for this supply. And that's why San Domingo, which is our pegmatite district, is so exciting, because pegmatite processing is very understood. It's going to be a lower cost plant and wood for our clay projects, and be easiest to get in development because we're making an intermediate product. So we're really excited about the pegmatite prospect and looking forward to getting more results out this year.
Thanks for the update. All right, good stuff. Charles Fitzroy, CEO of Bradda Head Lithium.